Let's talk remote control boats. This is a remote control for a small boat that we're looking to adapt. So the first thing, of course, I'm going to do is take it apart. Now, one thing I do notice is when I click the things, these feel like they are just on and off micro switches. So this is not a proportional remote control from what I could tell. I haven't actually tried the boat yet. So it feels like a lot of the little remote control cars that I've done in the past where it's just kind of on off forward back. So this control so far seems pretty straightforward to get into if I get my screwdriver in there. It's got 4 Phillips screws along the edges and one, come on, get in there. I might have to go to a different screwdriver. Let's see. And then one in the middle covering the battery. The battery one probably doesn't need to come out. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 little screws. I'll take the battery off just for consistency. It feels like it's a trapped one, so it doesn't look like there's any screws inside the battery compartment. It takes 3 AA batteries. And then popping off this, pretty standard setup. You've got, I don't want to mess those up. So in this case, the board is square. I've seen all sorts of shapes and sizes. So forward, reverse, left, and right, all independent switches, and standard size micro switches with pretty easy to tag solder in wires for adapting this. The only difference with this one is that it has a little trim function since it's a boat, so if it starts skewing a little too much to the left or to the right, that is supposed to help with that. I have to actually take a look at the boat itself to see how it steers, whether it has 2 motors or a rudder, probably 2 motors. So from a remote standpoint, it looks pretty straightforward. It's a standard digital remote and shouldn't be a big deal to adapt. What the question that will come up is, do we want to make the adapted version smarter? In other words, this is like full forward on, full forward off. We want it so that the adapted controller does it more gradually by doing pulse width modulation, so it modulate the pulses. That remains to be seen, so we'll see with that, and we'll go from there. So initially, it looks like a pretty straightforward conversion.